bear fruit.
To start by it's not, has been around for some time now. Football is dead, and I'd say one is going on now. All these together, these rights always had issues. These even when we've qualified, we failed to even make a. And when we make history by winning gold in both the men's and the women's categories, and that's unprecedented. It has never ever happened. It has never ever happened. Now you look at the under 20 team. You look at this under 20 team, and I liken it to the under 20 team of the English. Most they don't fail to deliver because they've played in high-profile games. They are matured, and all that. And that was what we saw from the boys. You take away the first game we played where we played a goalless draw. The rest of the games were games where, yes, sometimes they had to grind, dig deep, and win. But yet they showed character in it. So you look at the under 20 team and what they are achieving now. And Mutala, you wouldn't be far from right if you say that the future of the Black Stars is what? It's very bright.
That is because if we do a proper transition.
It's also dependent on how the players also transition individually on their own. Because you wouldn't force a move for players. The country wouldn't be forcing, or the FA wouldn't be forcing moves for certain players. But most of these players will have to face, be relevant. They have to stay relevant.
I think one of the issues that we've had as a country in terms of our transition is after a major tournament where the future of the players, where they move to. Some players move to leagues where you can't even monitor their progress.
Yeah,
if you go to Lavia, for instance, I mean, we won't be able to see your progress.
It has to do with the agents, taking care of these players.
They want money.
It's not always about the money, but sometimes choices are always risk. You can make a choice and later, it would end up giving you what you want. But Mutala, I'm looking at this under 20 team, especially looking at the fact that after the initial call-up, some players from top clubs had to be to be sent home because the coach felt they were surplus to requirement, and already that raised eyebrows. People started questioning, the competence.
The likes of Peter Akwamidu were all dropped.
Because if you have Peter Amidu Akwa,
and Peter Akwa,
and you have Peter Amidu Akwa, who plays for Asante Kotoko, being dropped from the under 20 side, that should tell you that there is so much quality in them. Maybe these players are not playing for Kotoko. That's why we are not seeing them. But the likes of Frederick Kesse, remember Adumako, you can name the players. These are players we've seen play. Sulemana, Abdulaziz, Issa, who has played.
I think even the two holding midfielders on a good day they can play the Blasters. The Mahmoud guy and the AJ guy.
Let's not jump the gun. This is just yes. I don't want to make the All-African Games seem like a tournament that is not competitive, but it's just the All-African Games. They have to go through the ranks. Playing for the Black Stars comes with a different form of pressure.
Mutala, before Ghana won the Under 20 World Cup in 2009, Jonathan Mensah in your call-up in the Black Stars already.
Yeah.
Ajiman Bedu in your call-up in the Black Stars in 2007 when he featured in the friendly game against Australia. When you call up already, Samuel Inkum Harris Nafo from Asante Kotoko and the Bashir Hayford team, we now when you call up in the Black Stars already.
Yeah.
After the Under 20 World Cup, Rabi Mohammed joined them. Dominic Edia then have moved to AC Milan, joined them in the Black Stars. They went to the Nations Cup in Angola, and of course the World Cup in South Africa.
After the Under 20
that is why I'm saying some of these
players. That was a World Cup, and to be able to play against the Brazil side that had the likes of Teixeira, Douglas Costa, it was a very high competitive level. This is just the All-African Games. I have no disrespect to the teams that came, but this is not the highest level you can get as far as it's concerned. I feel we should transition these players. They should go to the Under 23. It is there. The Black Meteors team. Let them go there, develop themselves further. I saw some great players in there, but they need further development as far as their game is concerned.
Sometimes it depends on the quality of players you have in the main national team.
Yeah.
When you look at the quality of players we had that time in the Black Stars,
so integration
they were
was
more
easy.
matured than this particular Black Stars. Even though that one, the day Ayo and the lights were able to enter into the Black Stars, they entered into the Black Stars. How much this current Black Stars team? Edmonado, Idris Baba, some of these players, when you look at the kind of football Mahmoud and AJ played in the heart of the midfield, for McCarthy, you know, I think they don't have more than 2 years to enter into the blast. If their progressing goes well. Career choice is very important. You remember Dominic Edia? I think a move to AC Milan was the reason why we didn't see Dominic Edia. Sadiq Adams, a move to Atletico Madrid. You remember? Now the roommate was David De Gea in Atletico Madrid. That move didn't bring the best out of some of these players. So the career choice is very important for some of these players. When you're under 20, sometimes French League 1, Danish League. You look at a team and you're likely you get playing time. It's not because who is care about bottom. Fine, but a typical Ghanaian player, Sikaba, you cannot say no. Every Ghanaian person have love for money.
And I have worked with a few players, and I can confidently tell you the pressure sometimes from agents, from family. It's making decisions. But you.
And then Friday you spoke to Samuel Nkum on Sports Park 89.7. He told you, or the name
sometimes
told you
what the family will tell you. One is our contracts now, but it's about time we begin to change that narrative, because these crop of players, any their technical team, if we are able to keep them and see them progress to the various ranks, so that is for the All African Games. Congratulations to every athlete that won a medal for Ghana, and those who couldn't even win medals with their efforts. It's also appreciated.
I think it's about time you see Bazigi Abasu.
Yeah.
It's not easy to win gold medal on 2 different African Games.
2015 and now.
2015 and now. In less than 10 years, we win it 2. Many sure there is a coach on African continent about to achieve.
Well, yeah,
so if you're to make us say this person is in charge of our national team or our technical department, I say Bazigi in charge of women football at a technical level, because I'm not sure when it comes to women's football, he's taking teams to the different level.
As far as I can remember, you see, Bazigi has been doing women's football, give and take, like 15 years. So, I mean, he's one man that is proven as far as women's football is concerned. And I wasn't surprised that he won gold with the Black Princesses there. And he will continue to do more. The Under-20 Women's World Cup is coming up, and I know Bazigi would do a good job. Let's now turn our attention back to the only league that matters, that is the Ghana Premier League. And yesterday at the 9th Century Park, it was Sewusu that scored twice as Samartex beat Heartofok by 2-1. Josiah Heartofok slamming to a defeat. Coach Abubakar not too happy with the display, but Ebimuso said some of the goals were preventable.
Yeah, I think if you look at the level Heartofok have got into, considering how they played in this second round, I think they should have, done better when they traveled to the Century Sports Complex to play against Samartex. It was a game that, if you're a Heartofok fan, going into this particular game, you'd be full of confidence looking at how they played the opening 5 games already in the second round. Mutala, they've shown so much character. Whatever component there is for a team, to transform into a title contender, whatever trait a team needs to be tagged as a title contender, Heartofok proved to have it in the second round. Look at the wins they had. RTU, they went to Inswachaman, they won. They drew against Tano Bofakwa. They also, won against Pando Heart of Lions. There's a team that were playing, I would say relatively better than the other teams in the second round. And it was all because they had a new technical direction. The coach came in with a purpose. You could see what he wanted to do, the philosophy that he wanted to instill in this team. And it was, clear from day one when they played against RTU. But then you could see that maybe sometimes, there's a thin line between being confident and overconfident. And I think maybe going to that game, they were just complacent.
Yesterday, the debate was about the goals that they conceded. Many said it was preventable, especially the first goal. Yeah. The player goes down, able to take the ball, thread the ball through to Osewu. So if we can see the goals,
you are not far from right, because even the coach after the game, if I don't know whether the coach in the voice in the coach in the material said he did a big mistake, one in player selection and decision making. When you look at the Samartex team, they were dominating the midfield because of the presence of Emmanuel Kayeke and Seydou Dauda. So when you play a lone holding midfielder in Gledo Tanga, obviously Ombo overcrowded the midfield. So in a game like this, now I was expecting the coach to either start Raphael and Ponsa together with Gledo Tanga, or David Oponfane as a DM to support Gledo Tanga. Lenda is an advanced midfielder. Salif Ibrahim is an advanced midfielder. And of course, Salim Adams, or an advanced midfielder. So it makes that defensive midfield role, Gledo Tanga and And you cannot use that midfield to contain the Samartex midfield. When you have, Emmanuel Kayeke and of course Seydou Dauda. Now what's that? Ivan Soselu on the left side. Because yesterday they were missing Dennis Kosa because of the red card against Pando out of line.
So it was Leventus
Ata for more than 3 months on board from my house.
Yeah. So this was a hard-to-folk equalizer. This was after before Osewusu had scored that first goal, where it was more of a pinball within the Heart-of-Folk area. I mean, we answered ball now, Bedu Osewusu, and he headed it home. This one, Bedu, a former Heart-of-Folk keeper, failing to keep that out. And at this point, it was like, okay, the Phobian spirit is back. They would go on to win this game. Then Osewusu, another opportunity, which many felt that goalkeeper Richard Atta should have done better. Jose, what do you think about this one?
It's been Heart-of-Folk's bane for some time now, and you're looking at how this ball, just went past Richard Atta, and it's shocking because you just might not be able to explain this if you're a goalkeeper. When your player has tried to cover up the far post, so you, the goalkeeper, should be covering up the near post, but then he decided, and I think it's positioning that cost him on the day. His positioning was just poor. This shouldn't be beating a Heart-of-Folk goalkeeper. This is now to say that on record they've considered more goals from blunders and goalkeeping errors than any other team in the top flight. Heart-of-Folk considered from a goalkeeping error when they visited PBNE Gold Stars. They considered from the goalkeeping error when I think which was it Kotoko? They played against Kotoko. Every time Nations they considered from a goalkeeping error. They have considered more goals from goalkeeping errors than any other team, and it's shocking that after all the reshuffling, Ayi coming on for Atta going really on a break. They've not had stability at the back there, and they've signed goalkeepers when the league went for a break. They've signed goalkeepers, so I'm still wondering how Atta at his level, keeping or manning the post for Heart-of-Folk, will still be considering such cheap goals.
Well, so Heart-of-Folk considered 2 goals and lost that game. Their head coach Abubakar Ouattara, not a happy man there. So this was Ivan Sosewusu's second goal after scoring the first for Samartex, and this was in the 80th minute. But Ouattara admitted that he made some mistakes and he's not happy with the outcome. Let's have a listen to him.
Hard time for Accra Heart-of-Folk. What went wrong with your team today?
Today I think I make the bad choice. And affect the team. It's my fault.
Okay. Will you give credit to your opponents? They played well.
Yes, they have a good side, a good team. I understand, when he's leading the team, I understand why he's leading the team. You have the good team. I think I congratulate all the Samartex team. Very good.
Over the last 8 matches, Accra Heart-of-Folk have done quite well. And since you came, you haven't lost a game. This is your first loss. But you need to go back because there are other matches coming. What are we going to correct this time around?
So many things. I'll try to correct myself before, and after I will talk for the players myself before. Okay.
Coach, it's tough, but thank you very much.
Thank you
for talking to us. All right, we now have the most valuable player of the game, Evans Osei-Wusu. Evans has been in some very fine form over the last 2-3 matches. He has scored 2 goals back to back, and he's showed wonderful skill here today. Evans, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you, boss.
Okay, match way. No, Bia Kahuasem, Hase Basamra boy. But for more players, Netem saying.
Okay, first of all, no, me that's that trade and Ponyankopon for victory. Last match I boy new dreams, now most of the players in Agasana home for home, but at least you team recover a cry. Do and yes, squad Nagasana the boy, you make say 1 or 2 players be home, but me only say teamwork and determination in a team a victory.
I see, and that match 2 goals. How difficult was it for you as a player and then watch another 2 goals?
Okay, first of all, like I say, match in Agasana is difficult, but you will say teamwork. And then I didn't focus on the game. You be doing meeting. I share one on Betty and on Nastona. You keep your focus. And your focus and determination and hard work, and they put a victory.
Okay, moving forward, in crime banner award here when you ebe show matches ni league
First of all, every match be one after the other because team jump last match Yeah, for match be at is that yeah, any Medeama I was saying we focus on that match. Then we stick for victory, then we target for another match. It's yeah, for match after match, we are not in a hurry.
Congratulations.
Thank you, boss.
Clearly, the energy that Osewusu speaks with, you can see that he is somebody that loves JB Fresh Juice. And I tell you that JB Fresh Juice is the best on the market. And we can say they are proud sponsors of the Ghana Premier League together with High Sense and Medeama for Herbal Clinic. So you've heard from them, the two coaches, you've heard from Heart of Folks coach Watara, and he admitted Wajia to Muse he made mistakes, and that is bold from a manager to openly accept why a mistake.
Yeah, that is what I was talking about before they played the voice. You know, or admit he made the bad choice, and I'm sure it's because of the players on the pitch. On the day, Samartex midfielders overcrowded more, so they took over the ball, and the wing play, you don't know, man to man find a solution to, you know, Evans Osewusu, and the player going into this game, minimally for scouting, any match reporting, of course, you know, match analysis, and my coach, you know. Games like this, you monitor the opponent. Why not a player about to me at threat to defense? It's Evans Osewusu. His last game against Dreams was 2 goals. And Bra was 2 goals. In fact, in the second round, we're involved in a win 6 goals for Samartex. So obviously, so Obi monitor opponents. These are one areas that he will monitor for you. So why do you play Lebanto Sata? Why do you play Amankwa Befi? You know, on a good day, someone like, you know, Michael Ampedu can do a good job on Evans Osewusu because not even
is more sound as compared to Amankwa Befi is more attacking minded.
Especially a away game.
Yeah. I was expecting Ampedu in this game.
Our approach at the away game, our approach at the home game. I understand Amankwa Befi Lebantus for home games. But in an away game, Michael Ampedu is show. So defensively is on top. So you find a way to stop some of these players. Baba Hamadou Musa didn't play yesterday. Nkebaya more pressure on the Heart of Folk defense.
Well, so that is how things ended between Heart of Folk and of course Samartex. And today I've told you there are 2 games to look forward to. One is at the Akun Park where Medeama will be coming up against Dreams FC. There you see Dreams FC's Medeama's dressing room. Then in the evening we will be at the Babayara Sports Stadium for another crunch game between Kotoko and Nations FC. For Medeama, Josiah, almost over season, I at topsy-turvy. Currently, they are 9th, even though they are the current champions of the Ghana Premier League. Yes, you would pardon them and say they were concentrating on the CAF Champions League. They are out of the CAF Champions League. Now they are back home domestically. And Shadanko, yes, it's been a topsy-turvy time for them. We need back home now. Draw back no more lose back home. They are coming up against a team that is motivated, even though they are also not. They've also not had good or consistent results in the last few games they played in the Ghana Premier League.
Utala, I would say Medeama are paying the price for not preparing well for their Africa adventure, and that's the price you pay, you know, especially after you've won the league and the bar is so high for you, and you are trying to, you know, start something more of a dynasty, you know, for yourself. Because after winning the trophy last year, everyone was thinking Medeama would be the favorite coming into this season. Looking at how they ended last season, the kind of recruitment they made, even moving their head coach to a technical advisory role and bringing in another coach. It meant that even from the technical perspective, Butala, they had everything sorted out. But then I believe they just didn't do the right recruitment going into or coming into this season, and that was one thing that really affected them. Even when they won the league last season, they had one experienced chap, the former Heart of Folk captain, at the back for them. Now, after they won the league, they had Atinga. They had to part ways with him. You ask yourself, who replaced Atinga in that team? They still lack, and in that position, whoever was partnering Nuruddin Abdullahi, you know, wasn't consistent for them. So the whole of this season, even in the Champions League and also domestically and in the MTN FA Cup, they've been changing, you know, personnel in that particular position. They've never had consistency with the 2 centre backs over there. Abdullahi has been consistent. He also played, you know, alongside Atinga, and Atinga is a very, very experienced player. But then after that, we've seen the captain of the side, Baba Musa, playing in that position. Even when they traveled together with Nuruddin, even when they traveled to Egypt to play against Al Ahly in the CAF Champions League. In that same position, we've seen One Amwa play over there alongside Nuruddin Abdullahi. And you know, every great team, every title-winning team, you know, is built on good defense. And last season, we saw one of the best defenses in the league from Medeama. This was a team that traveled to the Baba Sports Stadium against Asante Kotoko and won by 2-0. They kept a clean sheet. This is a team that traveled to the Accra Sports Stadium, played against Accra House of Folk in an away game, and trashed them by 5-1. So last season, I think they set the bar and the standard very, very high for themselves. But then what they didn't do so well, Mutala, was to prep themselves, coming into this season, knowing that there was African Champions League to be played. And you were in the same group with Al Ahly, Belouizdad, Yanga. And financially, these teams have got a muscle. They've got what it takes to recruit the best players, and they have squad depth. And that is something I can say that Medeama haven't had this season. Yes, they played well. And sometimes it's all about the standard you set for yourself. Domestically, the standard was high for them. But then when they moved out and they had to face other teams from other regions of the continent, it was very, very difficult for them.
Okay. It was a difficult time for them. They've been dumped out of the CAF Champions League there, but their opponent Dreams FC are still in the CAF Confederation Cup and they are into the quarter-final stage. We take a quick break here on Max TV and also on Star Times. It is the Ghana Premier League match day 23 game between Medeama and Dreams FC. When we return from the break, we talk briefly about Dreams FC. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching Max TV and also Star Times at the Part Channel 247. And this is the Ghana Premier League, the only league that matters. Again, I will say congratulations to the Black Satellite and, of course, the Black Princesses for winning gold. That just ended All African Games. It is Medeama against the Dreams FC at the Akun Park. That is our first stop before we make another move to the Barbara Sports Stadium for that big one between Asante Kotoko and Nations FC. But Lagos Cities will also be playing in Swatraman. Great Olympics will also take on Adriana Bofuakwa, would face Karela. Brekum Chelsea would also be facing Bechem United. Then on Monday, 2 games to go because RTU will take on Accra Lions and Heart of Lions would also be facing Kwesiedu's Bebieni Gold Stars. But Samartex have already defeated Heart of Folk. So the next one is at the Akun Park. Now let's look at the standings for all the teams and see how things are shaping up. So Samartex win yesterday over Heart of Folk. I've seen them chop out 42 points at the moment. Nations FC are second. They will be playing Kumasi Asante Kotoko later this evening. They have 37 points. And Adriana lie third with 36 points. And Swatraman have a leapfrog Brekum Chelsea to fourth with 33 points. And Brekum Chelsea, who are being handled by former Heart of Folk coach Samuel Boadu, are fifth on the table with 33 points. Bechem United have 32 points and are said with Heart of Folk, who were defeated yesterday, stuck at 7th with 32 points. Asante Kotoko have the opportunity of leapfrogging Hearts with a win or a draw against Nations FC today, but they are 8th with 32 points. Medeama are 9th with 32 points, and a win will do them a lot of good this afternoon as they come up against Dreams FC. But the second half of the table looks like this. Accra Lions, they are 10th with 30 points. Bebieni Gold Stars currently are 11th with 28 points. Great Olympics, Oligbogbo Olimashi, Nanaba Namwa Hame with Twitter. So when Olympics are going to play, Menkantre na onche. So Nanaba Olympics are 12th on the table with 28 points, and that is where they lie at the moment. Legon Cities are 13th with 28 points. Dreams FC, they are 14th with 27 points. Karela, they lie just a place above the relegation zone. They are 15th at the moment with 27 points. Bofuakwa Tano are 16th with 23 points. Heart of Lions currently they lie 17th with 21 points. And Real Tamale United, they are 18th with just 19 points. So that is how things are shaping up there. Nanedu Dreams FC are 14th at the moment with 27 points. Almost all, it is going well for them. As for money, Medeama, almost season bra. Maybe Medeama are having a good time in the Ghana Premier League. They are chopping up some wins. Dreams FC are fantastic. They are flawless in the CAF Confederation Cup. But domestically, if you more, so it has been a terrible time for them. Now, losing so any Musa.
That is why I agree with a lot of people about said the Africa campaign. No, I'm a fatigue asset in teams like Dreams FC and Medeama. So when you look at the league log after 21 games, they are at the second part of the league table. Tells you almost struggling in some of their games. In fact, home game they were able to draw 2-2 with Samartex. So it tells you Dreams are struggling in the Premier League, and they have most of their players to, some of them are injured, some of them are with the national team and staff. So, inconsistency in player selection. So one of the things I of course say Abdul Karim Zito in their games in recent times. So maybe today's game against Medeama, we may see the full strength of the Dreams FC team. Okay. There are some few players who are still not available.
Yeah, we'll talk about them. But this is the form guide of Dreams FC going into the game. Their last 5 matches, I've seen them draw goalless with Karela before they beat in Swatraman by 2-0, and that happens to be the last time they won a game in the Ghana Premier League. Their other games ended in the draw 2-2 against us. Then it was 2-0 against Samartex, and their last game saw them slammed to a defeat to Nations FC by a 0-0. So just one win in the last 4 games, not looking good for Karim Zito domestically, Nanedu.
And the 2 home games ended in a draw. 2-2 against Haas and 2-2 against Samartex. And they went to Karela, had a goalless draw, and Nation was able to beat them by 1. That game was an outstanding game. Yeah. Nations picked a 1-0 win against them. And their last away game is the Swatraman game that they went there to win by 2 goals. So if you look at the last 5 games, the only win is the Swatraman away game. So it tells you teams, even at home, they struggle to get the maximum 3 points. So I think they should start picking up.
Are they concentrating too much on the CAF Confederation Cup? And I say, you just think that senior kind of fatigue. I don't want to accept the fatigue excuse, because the likes of Al Alimo, they are playing in the competition, Mamelodi Sundown, and they are still doing it big in their league. So Amuka fatigue, I am a bit skeptical there.
It could be part, because before the start of the season, no, Mama started almost season already.
Okay.
Because the African campaign is starting at the Premier League in Asia. And players in Tanzania break for, the Africa Cup of Nations, they have to play the outstanding games, so they didn't get a break. So they are combining the second round with the Africa campaign and the second round of the Ghana Premier League. So fatigue, not 100%, but it could be part of the reason why.
It is a factor. But let's look at the 5 away games, the last 5 away games that Dreams FC have played. 3 defeats, 1 win, and 1 draw there. So they lost against Medeama by 4-1. Lost to Heart of Lions by a goal to Andrew. Goalless with Karela before beating in Swaterman. That happens to be their last win in the Ghana Premier League, and they lost to Nations FC by a goal to 0. This time, they are visiting the Akun Park. They are not looking good on the road for them.
Yeah. 4 out of 15 points they've been able to get away from home, and it's not bad because ideally they could have lost all these games. And we know the nature of the Ghana Premier League, where away sides always have to strive. And you look at that away win they had at the Nana Kramansa Park against the Swaterman, a huge win for them. That was a week or days after Heart of Oga has also gone there to pick up a win. And that away draw, also that 1 point against Karela. But I wouldn't say it's fatigue. These teams are inexperienced when it comes to Africa. You look at the 2 teams, Medeama and Dreams. Dreams playing in their first ever campaign, in Africa. For Medeama, this is the first time they are playing in the Champions League. And, you look at teams like Al Ahly, teams like Belouizdad, when they are traveling from North Africa to Southern Africa or West Africa or East Africa, mostly they look at the strength of the opponent and they try and rest most of their key players, so they don't even come with them. But then you look at Dreams and Medeama, whenever they are traveling,
they have to go with the full house
because you don't have that strength, you don't have the muscle to buy players. And I'm speaking about squad depth. That is something these teams lack. They don't have that squad depth, because you could see Medeama fielding, I think Augustin Adote fielded all his key players in all the games they played in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But for Dreams FC, I think they'll be looking at the FA Cup too. And that was the tickets they were able to acquire to book
and
a place.
And
they are still in. So maybe it's not just about the league. They would want to just maintain their Premier League status. Try and see how far they can go in the Confederations Cup, and then put everything in that MTN FA Cup.
Okay, so the coaches are ready to tell us what they will be doing in the game. So let's go to the Akun Park and have a listen to the 2 managers.
Coach, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time. Now, I would like to find out from you, before this game, how beneficial has been your participation in Africa? It looks like Medeama is growing stronger and stronger.
Thank you very much for some things what you mentioned. African competitions, this is something what I'm 100% sure help a lot Medeama and Dreams also to bring new experience in our team and also in all Ghana football. This is something what is a serious benefit for us, because we played against very serious teams, and this is something what will maybe some things you can't see now, but in future you will see a lot of things because of these benefits.
All right, okay. Your last outstanding match here, you won by 2-0. How has the preparation been for today's game against Dreams FC, another Africa campaigner?
Sure, that was a little short time for preparation, but also we made enough tactical trainings for this. We worked a good analysis of our opponent. They have a really good team, and our preparation was too deep, and I hope today we will achieve performance we want.
Couple of matches towards the end of the competition. It's been very good for Medeama. Like I said, it's been growing stronger and stronger. I'd like to find out from you your assessment of Medeama. Is there the possibility that once you clear the outstanding matches, it would help you push to the top?
Sure, this is something what we want to push in top. This is something what we think this is our place, and also confirm last season we want progress in top. In this season, outstanding matches. If we win this, we will be very close position we want, and also every match is very important. Every point, you know how it's here, very difficult league. A lot of points are inside, and also will be very, very interested. But we are growing in our performance now. Maybe players also they changed brain on domestic competition, and this is something what is helping in this case. And I hope will be better in next matches.
We wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Coach, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time. Yeah. Now, the Still Believe dream is still on. You have showcased what you can do in Africa. You are still there in the quarters, but you're also battling in the Ghana Premier League. So far, how has it been, the combination of the two?
It's the combination of the three. Play the FA.
And the FA Cup.
Seriously, everybody would like to come out with his best 11. I'm not saying those playing in their position are not bad, but we have the best in everything we do. So when you look at the Africa, after the Africa, they went to the national team, and then Entry get injured, and then Gal too went to Benin national team. So I was left with no option. You understand me? I was left with no option. I have to fight. So I played against Insotrama without them. I played against us without them till today, when I had even Entry is not going to start because it's just coming from injury. I'm now using this opportunity to also start preparing against start the Mali. So it wasn't easy for me. Yes, when you look at the way that things are going, the traveling, in fact, I can't say no because it's a job. The moment you take any decision in your life, that is your destiny. So I've accepted it, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
You're here this afternoon. Your opponent, just like you, has also gained some experience in Africa.
Yeah.
How are you approaching this game?
Well, I'm here with only two options or two objectives, either to win or at least to go back with 1 point. I know it won't be very easy for me coming here to beat Medeama, but it is possible. It is very, very possible. So that is the objective that we brought here. So either to win or to draw, at least to get a point and go home. Because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy beating Medeama. We should accept it. It's not easy beating Medeama.
How have the players adapted to playing top-notch football at 3 different levels?
Well, it's all, they say experience is the best teacher. When I was a player, I reached the stage where they've not reached yet. So, coupled with the experience we had from our coaches, Sunday and Malik. So I also brought it to them. So here it's not about yes, experience counts a lot, but this is a case where I'm using young players into Africa, and I made them understand the essence of playing in Africa. At the end of the day, everybody wish to go outside and then change his life, and these are one of the paths to change your life. So they have to motivate themselves. They should not wait for somebody to come to motivate them. They have to do the intrinsic motivation. The extrinsic will come, but go with the desire to play is better than somebody to tell you before you play.
Words of wisdom from Abdul Karim Zito. Coach, thank you very much. We wish you the very best.
Coach Abdul Karim Zito, one of the experienced managers we have in this country there, he seemed to be speaking the Nana-Edu language, talking about the fact that the traveling within Africa has taken a toll on the team, and he's even missing some players. One of the players that I know they may or are missing this afternoon is Abdul Aziz Issa, who was with the Black Satellite. He is one of their top scorers behind Ajanim Boateng, who has scored 7 goals. Abdul Aziz Issa has scored 6, and he is going to miss today's game. Is it going to affect Dreams FC?
Of course, obviously it would affect them, and no team would love to move into such a very, very daring fixture without their top scorer. He's their top scorer in all competitions this season, because in the CAF Confederations Cup, he scored 4 already in that competition. If you add that to the 6 he scored in the league, that is 10. And no other Dreams FC player has reached double figures already. And we saw how pivotal he's been for them so far in the campaign, in the group stages of the CAF Confederations Cup. And just like Karim Zito, put it, it's worrying times for them. But Mutala, if you want to be ambitious, if you want to do something that has never been done, Mutala, you always have to do it the hard way. Yeah. And that's what Dreams FC are doing now. It looks like clearly what they are trying to do in the Premier League is to maintain their status. try and finish as high as they can in the league, and then pay premium attention to both the cup games or the cup competitions in which they find themselves currently. You look at the team consistently. We've seen Jalilu play in the CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup, and then also the Premier League, and in some FA Cup games. Consistently, we've seen Eti Ahini play. Consistently, we've seen John Entry play. So these are the key players that will have to play all these games. And just like he was saying, they need to go through these things just to toughen them up for the upcoming season, and even the rest of the games coming up in the Confederations Cup, and then also the Ghana Premier League.
Now, Dreams FC have been struggling in domestically, even though they are doing well in the CAF Champions League. They recently signed their former player, Joseph Esau. He's returned to the club together with John Entry. What do they bring to the table or to this Dreams FC?
I don't know if Joseph Esau.
No, I'm not sure he will be available today.
Yeah. I've seen your number 10, Sylvester Simba, warming up with them.
Okay.
I've seen John Entry also in the team, and Ejenim Boateng.
Ejenim Boateng is Dreams FC's top scorer. He scored 7 goals so far.
I've seen their captain Jalilu, so it's still a strong, even though lineup, even though they are missing Abdulaziz Issa and they are made for that. Oforu Makati, and these are key players for Dreams FC, but I think they have enough players to be slotted in to play for those players in their position. So they don't have a bad squad. But when you look at Medeama's coach, he was complaining about the smaller period of time they've gotten to prepare for this game. You remember?
Okay, Nanedo, it's that time that we would have to cross over to the Akon Park for the first half of this game. You're watching Max TV and also Star Times at the Patch Channel 247. It is Medeama against Dreams FC. Enjoy the first 45 minutes.